Değerli il başkanlarımız,
Distinguished
kadın ve
provincial
gençlik
heads,
kollarımızın kıymetli il başkanları,
valuable members of our women
kıymetli
and
belediye
youth
başkanlarımız
branches,
ve il genel
esteemed
meclis başkanlarımız,
mayors and
değerli dava
valuable
ve yol arkadaşlarım,
heads of
bir
our
aylık aranın
provinces,
ardından
dear friends at cause,
hepinizi tekrar en kalbi
I would
duygularımla,
like to greet you all with the
muhabbetle,
most heartfelt
hasretle
sentiments,
selamlıyorum.
love and affection after 1 month.
Sözlerimin hemen başında
At the outset of my remarks
15'i olan bu akşam idrak edeceğimiz
tonight,
Leyli beradınızı tebrik
we
ediyorum.
will be congratulating our
Rivayetlerde
Laylat al-Bera
Peygamber Efendimizin aleyhissalatu
this
vesselam
night. According
özel
to
önem
it is
verdiği
being
belirtilen bu
stipulated,
gecede
this night is
Rabbimizin
given special
rahmet,
importance
af
by our
ve
Prophet.
mağfiret kapılarını açtığı,
As you know,
yapılan
the
duaları
doors of
geri
prosperity
çevirmediği kabul edilir.
and the grace and the remission
kullar olarak
is opened by our God, so
en
the
güzel şekilde
prayings of us
değerlendirecek,
will be heard by our
günahlarımızın
Creator.
affı,
Hopefully we will be
sevaplarımızın
praying
kabulü,
for the
rızkımızın tertibi,
forgiveness, and
amellerimizin
we will
arzı
be
için Allah'a
praying
yalvarırız.
to our God for the
Dünyanın
acceptance of
içinden
our good
geçtiği
deeds.
şu muhataralı dönemde
As the
Hak
whole globe
Teâlâ'nın
is going through
mağfiretine
challenging times,
ve
hopefully we will
hamd
be
etmeye her
entrusted
zamankinden
for
daha çok
the grace of
ihtiyacımız
our God,
olduğu
and
bir
we
gerçektir.
are in greater
Milletimizin
need of
ve tüm
contentment,
Müslümanların
which is
Berat
an obvious
gecesini
fact.
canı gönülden tebrik
I
ediyorum.
sincerely would like to
Hayırlara vesile
congratulate
olmasını
the
Rabbimden
Laylat al-Berat
niyaz ediyorum.
of all the Muslims,
kardeşlerim,
and may it be auspicious for
önümüzdeki
all the
Ağustos
Islamic
ayında
world and all the Muslims.
partimiz
Dear brothers and sisters, in the
21.
upcoming
yaşını,
month of
Kasım ayında
August,
da iktidarımız
our political
20.
party
yılını
will be celebrating its 21st year anniversary, and we will be
AK Parti
celebrating
bayrağı altında
the 20th year
yola nasıl,
anniversary as the political
niçin
party in
ve
power.
hangi şartlarda
As
çıktığımızın
the
muhasebesini
soldiers of
her
this
fırsatta
great
yapmaya çalışıyoruz.
cause, we are trying
Öncelikle
our
şu
best
hususun
to
altını
assess
tekrar
what we
çizmek
have
isterim.
accomplished so far
Biz,
at every opportunity. And there
AK
is
Parti'yi
one very important fact
istişareyle
which I would like to underline. We
büyük
have found that
istişareyi
AK
de
Party with
milletimizle
consultation, and the greatest consultation
attığımız her adımda
has been
önce
done
milletimize,
with our
onunla
nation.
birlikte
In every step we
teşkilatlarımızın
take, we
gözüne
consulted with our nation,
Partimizin
and
genel
we looked into
merkezinden
the eye of
il
our
ve ilçe teşkilatlarına
provincial
kadar her
organizations,
kademesinde
from
kurumsal
the
işleyişin
headquarter of our
harfiyen
political party
yürümesini
all the way to
sağladık.
the provincial organizations. We
olarak
made sure that
Biz
we
de fevkalade
acted
bir durum
in an
olmadıkça
institutionalized
Merkez
manner.
Yürütme Kurulu,
As long
Merkez
as there is
Karar ve
nothing
Yönetim Kurulu,
extraordinary,
meclis grubu
the
toplantılarını
executive
belirli
committee
periyotlarla
and
titizlikle
the
gerçekleştirmeye
provincial council
özen
meetings
gösterdik.
have been
İlk
regularly
ziyaretlerimizde
held,
teşkilatlarımızla
to
bir araya
which we
gelmemize
paid
vesile
special
olan
importance to.
genişletilmiş ilk
And
danışma
at the same
meclisi
time, we
toplantılarına
attach significant
mutlaka
importance to the
katılıyoruz.
extended meeting of the
Dünyada,
provincial heads, and
bölgemizde ve
we
ülkemizde
at all
yaşanan
cost participated in those
meseleyle,
meetings.
nice krizle,
As we are dealing
nice
with many
gelişmeyle
crises
uğraşırken
and regional and local
parti
developments
çalışmalarını
unfolding
da asla
in
ihmal
our
etmedik,
geography, we
etmiyoruz.
have never
Nitekim
overlooked
Salı günü
to the
milletvekillerimizle
activities
yaptığımız
of our
sohbet
political party.
toplantılarının
Likewise, the
gerçekleştirdik.
fourth
Bugün
of our
sizlerle birlikteyiz.
meeting together with the
Pazartesi günü
MPs have taken
Merkez
place
Yürütme
on
Kurulumuzu
Tuesday.
topluyor.
Today we have come
Ardından
together with you.
eski
On
dönem
Monday we will be
milletvekillerimiz
organizing
ve
the
il
executive
başkanlarımızla
committee
bir
meeting,
yemekli
and then we will
toplantıda
have
bir
a
araya
working
geldik.
lunch with our
Her zaman
ex-provincial
söylediğimiz
heads
gibi
and our
AK
MPs.
Parti
As we have
milletin
stated
partisidir.
all the time,
Milletin
AK Party
sesidir.
is the political
Milletin
party of our
hizmetkarıdır.
people.
Günün
Justice and
24
Development
saati
Party is the
milletle
servant
beraber.
to our nation, and we spend 7 days, 24 hours of us with our nation.
Parti toplantılarında aynı zamanda
During our political party meetings, thanks to you, we are able to hear out the problems and the challenges and the expectations of our citizens from 81 different provinces.
kendi tespitlerimizin sağlamasını yapıyor.
We are checking whether we do things right, and we are registering our common sense. As we march towards our great cause, within the light of the experience of 21 years, we are heading forward for greater causes and targets. Of course, from time to time, there might be temporary challenges and problems, but since we know that the direction to which we are heading forward is the right route, that's why we are overcoming every problem and every barrier, and we are coming out with victory from every challenge whatsoever. Up until now, we have participated in 15 elections, and we have won all those elections as the #1 political party. This clearly shows that our nation supports our stance and our political approach. We will give another exam. We are at the verge of a new exam in 2023 elections. We will be standing in front of our nation, and we will be showing to our people what we will be doing in the future, and we will ask for their permission. Of course, each election matters. Each election is critical, and each election is very decisive. But 2023 elections is not only important for the future of the Justice and Development Party and the Nations Alliance, but at the same time, it is a turning point for the future of our country. In this election, hopefully, we will make sure that Turkey reaches to its target and aims for its 100 years anniversary, and hopefully we will be protecting all the gains that we have obtained so far, and we will never stop there, and we are also longing and giving our commitments to make our country one of the top 10 economies to our nation, to our people. With all the masterpieces, with all the services and all the projects, all political, social and economic reforms that we have carried out, we are trying our best to found the infrastructure enabling us to materialize all those targets and aims. With great content, I would like to state that we have nothing lacking in terms of the infrastructure. Tomorrow, we will be carrying out the inauguration ceremony of the Çanakkale Bridge, and this bridge will be one of the cornerstones of our attempt of development. As a result of all those services and projects, we have reached to the level that we desired. If God's willing, during the term of Justice and Development Party, in the field of education, health, security, transportation, and specifically in foreign policy, in agriculture, and also in energy, in a nutshell, in all those aforesaid fields, 1915 Çanakkale Bridge will be just like a crown to our successes. Hopefully, it will be one of the most important bridges all around the world, and indeed I can say that it will be the #1 bridge in the world. It has a meaning. We say, this is Çanakkale. The Çanakkale victory is being crowned with this bridge. As you know, in the past, it was not even passed from one side to other because of the waves. And even if there is no temperature or the weather problems, due to the traffic, we were not able to travel there. But thanks to this bridge, we will make sure that we have done the investments which enabled us to pass from one side to another within 6 minutes. We have accomplished it.
Şimdi tüm vaktimizi ve imkanımızı
So from now on, we
devletinin
will be
gücü,
allocating all our
ülkesinin
time
gelişmişliği,
and all
vatandaşlarının
our
refahı ile
resources for
Türkiye'yi
the
dünyanın en üst
prosperity and the
sıralarına
well-being of
taşımaya
our citizens, and we
hasredecek
will
bir
make
yer.
sure that Turkey will
İnşallah
be
yarın hep birlikte
becoming
herhalde
one of
orada
the
buluşacağız.
top countries in terms of
Bilhassa
economic
son 10
development.
yılda
Hopefully, we will come
terörden
together
darbe,
tomorrow
ekonomik
there.
tuzaklardan
In the last 10
siyasi
years,
çelmelere kadar
despite all
maruz
the
kaldığımız
obstacles
her
from the
saldırı,
terrorist attacks to
ülkemizi
coup
yeniden
attempts to economic
istikrarsızlığa,
manipulations,
güvensizliğe,
every
kaosa
attacks that we
sürükleyerek
had to
işte bu
endure
hedeften uzaklaştırma
tried
amacı
to
taşıyor.
distance us from
Hamdolsun
our targets
başaramadılar,
by putting us
başaramayacak.
into economic chaos, and thanks to God, they couldn't accomplish, and they will not be able to accomplish it.
Çünkü milletimiz hem
Because
elindekilerin kıymetini biliyor,
our nation
hem oynanan
knows
oyunu
the
görüyor,
word
hem de
at its
verdiğimiz
disposal, and
mücadelenin
they see
gayesini
this
kabul
game
ve
played, and
tasdik ediyor.
our nation also
İşte
appreciates the effort and the endeavor
Selim
that
Köprüsü'nü
we have
yaptık.
put forward. We
Ona
have
takıldılar.
constructed Yavuz Selim
Osman
Bridge,
Gazi'yi
and they
yaptık.
were concerned with it.
Ona
We
takıldılar.
have constructed Osman Gazi
Nisipi
Bridge,
Köprüsü'nü
and they were
Şanlıurfa'dan Adıyaman'a
concerned with it.
birbirine bağladık.
We have connected
takıldık.
Şanlıurfa and Adıyaman
Çünkü
with
akılları
those
bu tür
bridges, and they
şeyleri
were concerned with it
kabullenemiyor.
because their
Almıyor.
minds cannot comprehend
bunlarla
those
beraber
projects. And
İstanbul,
along
İzmir
with all
arası
those,
7-7,5
the
saatken onu 3
travel
saat 15
time
dakikaya
between
indirdik.
Istanbul and Izmir was more than 7 hours, and we reduced the travel time
bunlarla
to
kalmadık.
3 hours and 15 minutes, and they
Samsun,
couldn't comprehend it even.
ta
Of course, we never stopped with
sınır
those
kapısına
projects.
varıncaya kadar
From Samsun
bölgeyi
to
elhamdülillah
the border,
böyle tek
we have
tek
really
geçiş değil,
flourished this
otoyol
region
haline getirdik
with this
ve
highway,
onu da
and
arsalıları almadı.
even this highway
Olmaz.
project couldn't be
Şimdi buradan
comprehended by
sesleniyorum.
them.
Ey ana
So,
muhalefet,
once again, I would like to
Bak,
call upon the main
Ordu
opposition
Giresun'da
party.
denizin üzerinde
In
bir havalimanı
Ordu,
yaptık.
in
Haberiniz
Giresun,
var mı?
we have constructed an airport over the
Şimdi
sea. Do you know
Rize
about
Artvin,
it? Right
orada
now,
da
in
havalimanımız
Rize,
bitiyor.
Artvin, our
İnşallah
airport is
önümüzdeki ay
almost
onun da
complete,
açılışını
and
yapacağız.
hopefully
Haberiniz
next
var mı?
month we will be carrying out the inauguration ceremony of it. Are you aware of that?
25 havalimanından 56 havalimanına çıktı. Bu ne
So we
demek
have
biliyor musun?
increased the number of our airports from
Yani
25 to 56. Do you know what
Ülkemizin
this
bir
means?
yerinden bir yerine gidecek olan benim vatandaşım
So my citizens who would like to travel
uçaktan
from one
inince
part of
yarım
Turkey
saatte
all the way to the other part
ya bilemedin
will
45
be
dakika ama
reaching
evinde.
to its home
Bugünlere
maximum in
bizleri
45
kavuşturan
minutes.
Rabbime sonsuz hamdü senalar.
Well, I pray to my
Döviz
God
kurundaki faizlerdeki
endless times
enflasyondaki
who enabled
dalgalanmalar
us to construct all those
yaşadığımız geçiş
projects.
sürecinin
The
bedelleri
fluctuations in the foreign exchange is the price that we had to pay during this transition
Efendim işte
period. We
fiyatlar
didn't
şunlar
stop.
bunlar.
We continue working.
Sevgili
There are many people
vatandaşlarım,
who are criticizing us
ekranları
about the
başında bizi izleyen
prices.
vatandaşlarıma
Dear citizens, I
sesleniyorum.
would like to call
Bakın
upon them.
durmuyoruz. Bütün bu
We don't
yatırımları
stop
yaparken
as we
biz
do all those
yatırımlarda
investments.
özellikle zaman oluyor. Bakıyorsunuz
I would like to state that
PPP denilen
we use
yap
this
işlet devletle bu adımları atıyoruz.
PPP model, and we are also opting for the BOT model, but they couldn't comprehend it. And they ask, what does this mean? I mean,
Bu
go and learn.
yüklenici
What
firmaların
does this model
kendi
mean?
imkanlarıyla
This means that
yurt
the
dışından
contracting
veya
companies
kendi
with all
imkanlarıyla
their means and resources,
yatırımı
either
yapıp
from or
ondan
inside
sonra
of
da
Turkey or outside of
yaptığımız
Turkey,
ihaleyle
they are making
ama 10
those
senede,
investments,
ama
and then
15
we
senede,
carry
ama
out
20
a
senede
tender,
bunun bedelini
and
devlet olarak biz kendilerine ne yapıyoruz?
either
Ödüyoruz.
within 15 years or 20
Devletin
years, we are
kasasından
paying
bir kuruş çıkmıyor.
this amount of investments back to
Burada yüklenici
them. So
firma
the state
bunu
doesn't
yapıyor
spend
ve
even
belli
a
bir
single
ücretle
penny,
ama köprüden,
and the
ama otobanlardan
contracting
geçen
company
vatandaş
construct all those
bedelini
highways
ödüyor.
and bridges, and our citizens
mı var?
are paying the
Bu
price
açıda devlet
as they pass
o yüklenici
from those
firmaya
bridges or
ödüyor.
from those highways
Ama bütün
for
bunlarla
a certain
beraber
period of time,
biz
but
süratle bu yatırımları
in
yaparak
along with all those
ülkemizi ayağa
investments, we made sure that
Bunu
our
sadece
country
otobanlarda, otoyollarda
stood
yapmadık.
on its own feet. We
Hastanelerde de
didn't
yaptık.
do
İşte
and use
şu
this
anda
model only
19
in the
şehir
highways and
hastanesi
the
var.
bridges, but we have
Bu
used
şehir
the same model in
hastanelerimizde
our
biz
city hospitals.
aynı anlayışla
We
yaptık.
right now have
Ve
19
şimdi
city
bu
hospitals
şehir
and we have
hastanelerimizde
used the
iftihar
same
ediyoruz.
model and we are proud with our city
Şimdi
hospitals
onların üzerine
at the
gelmeye
moment.
başladılar.
Right now
Şehir
they started
hastanelerimize
criticizing
kul
our city
takmaya başladılar.
hospitals as well.
Boşuna uğraşmayın.
They are
Bak, sizin
trying
de
to
eliniz,
find
ayağınız
excuses and
oralarda
find
düşer.
the fault with the city hospitals, but do not
Bak, şu
try in
koronavirüste
vain.
işte
During
bu
this
şehir
coronavirus,
hastanelerimiz,
one day you
bu
might
eğitim
need our city
araştırma
hospitals.
hastanelerimiz
During the
olmamış
coronavirus
olsaydı
pandemic, if we
biz bu
hadn't have
süreci böyle
those city
kolay
hospitals or the
kolay
research and training
atlatamazdık.
hospitals, we
Ama bu
couldn't have
hastanelerle
overcome this
biz
process
bu
easily.
süreci
But thanks to the
başarıyla
city hospitals, thanks to God, we have overcome this pandemic process with great success.
bu millet istiklali ve istikbali için
This nation,
Çanakkale'den
for
milli
its
mücadeleye,
future, for its
darbelerden
independence from
vesayete,
Çanakkale to the
dışarıda
independence
yazılıp
war, from
içeride
the
oynanan
coup
senaryolara
attempt
kadar
to the totalist
nice badireyi
supporters,
yaşamış,
had to
tecrübe etmiş,
endure many challenges
sonuçlarıyla
and
yüzleşmiş bir
had
halk.
to face with the results of
Eğer
all
biz
those
kendimize
attacks.
ve önümüzdeki bu tabloyu doğru ve samimi olarak anlatıp
If we don't
85
explain this
milyonun
situation in a
tamamıyla
sincere
gönül
manner, and
bağımızı
if we can
güçlendirirsek
actually
üstesinden
strengthen
gelemeyeceğimiz
our
mesele, aşamayacağımız
bones
engel
with
yoktur.
85 million of our citizens, there is no
Onun için
problem or
ısrarla
challenge
söylüyorum.
that we
Şu
cannot
anda
tackle or
burada
overcome. That's
tüm
why
il
I say
başkanlarına
again and again
Allah için
to all my
hemen hemen
provincial heads,
yatırımın olmadığı, eserin olmadığı bir ilimiz
for the
yok.
sake of God, there is no
Dolayısıyla
city
size
or
düşen nedir?
district without an
Siz de
investment and without a
bu
masterpiece.
ilimizdeki tüm
So what
eserleri
is incumbent upon
eğitimde,
you
sağlıkta, adalette,
is to make
emniyette,
sure that you
ulaşımda,
tell all those
enerjide,
masterpieces
tarımda,
and services in the
arkadaşlar
field of
bunları
safety, security,
halkımla,
transportation, justice,
vatandaşımla
health, and education.
paylaşacaksınız.
Share those
Bunları
projects with
anlatacaksınız.
our citizens. Explain
Az
those
önce
projects to our citizens.
televizyon ekranında paletli ambulanslarla hasta
A short while ago,
taşımasını izledim.
I had the chance to watch how the patients are being transferred from one places to
Ya
another
normal
with
ambulans
the
var mıydı arkadaşlar?
snow crawling
Doğru
ambulances.
dürüst normal
Well,
ambulans yoktu
do
ya.
you remember those times when we have come
Biz
to
bunların
power?
hepsini açtık.
Let alone the snow crawling ambulances. We even
ambulansları
didn't have the normal
devreye
ambulances.
soktuk.
And we
Ve en
have
sıkıntılı
commissioned
yerlere
those
bu
snow crawling
ambulanslarla çıkmaya
ambulances
başladık.
right now, and we were able to go to
Aynı şekilde
the challenging geographies
ambulans
with those
helikopterlerimizi
ambulances.
devreye soktuk.
Likewise, we are using
Ambulans
our
uçaklarımızı
helicopter
devreye soktuk.
ambulances, and we
Böyle şeyler var
are
mı?
using the plane
Bunları biz niye yaptık?
ambulances. I mean, we
İşte
didn't
Türk
have
bayramını
those resources.
niye
Why
geride
did
bıraktık?
we do all those investments?
Kanuni'nin
Recently, we
ifade ettiği
have
gibi, halk içinde
celebrated
muteber bir nesne
the
yok,
Doctor's
devlet
Day.
gibi.
As Suleiman the
Olmayan
Magnificent
devlet,
says, there is no
cihanda bir
sacred thing
nefes
other than
sıhhat
state
gibi
in this
dedik ve
world.
yola
Shall
böyle
state
koyduk.
not be worth more than a healthy breath in this world? This was the mentality that we have set foot in this journey.
Çünkü biz milletimizi seviyoruz.
Because we love our nation.
Milletimize inanıyoruz.
We believe in our nation.
Dolayısıyla partimize de güveniyoruz.
That's why we trust
Çünkü
our
biz bu
political
kadronun,
party.
bu teşkilatın gücünden, kabiliyetinden,
Because we have no
yapabileceklerinden
doubt
eminiz.
and we are certain about the
mesele
capabilities
Halkımıza
and the skills
ne
of this
yapacağız?
organization.
Anlatacağız arkadaşlar.
But what matters
Unutmayın,
is that
hafıza
we should
beşer
tell
nisyan
all
ile
those
malum.
masterpieces and
İnsanoğlu
services to
unutur.
our people.
Ne
You
yaparsanız
should
yapın.
not
Bugün bilir,
forget
yarın
that the biggest
unutur.
weakness of human mind
Onun
is
için
its
de devamlı ne
forgetfulness.
yapmamız lazım?
They know today, but
Hatırlatmamız lazım.
tomorrow they might forget. That's
Ve
why we
bunları
have to remind
sadece
those services to our people again and again.
teşkilatımızı da devreye sokarak
And by
köy köy,
mobilizing
en
our
ücra köşeye
organization,
kadar
we should
anlatmamız
be visiting every single
burada
village and make
yeter
sure
ki
that we
ana kadememizde,
tell those
kadın
services and
kollarımızla,
masterpieces
gençlik
to
kollarımızla,
our people,
mahalle ve
together
sağlık
with our provincial
temsilcilerimizle
heads, together
bize
with
gurur
our
veren
women
her
and
bir
youth branches,
kardeşimizle
together with all
bir olalım,
our brothers and
diri
sisters,
olalım,
we should become one,
beraber
we should
olalım,
become
diri
great, we
olalım,
should become firm,
kardeş olalım
we should become
ve
brothers and
gece
sisters,
gündüz
and
çalışalım.
let us work day and night.
Gerisinin çok kolay olduğunu Milletimizin yüreği ve kolları açık
So the
olarak
rest
bizi
will be much more
beklediğini ben
easier
şu anda
because I
görüyorum.
see that our nation waits us to embrace us.
Unutmayınız. Rabbimiz
Do not
herkese
forget,
çalıştığı kadarının olduğunu emrediyor.
our God
Biz
bestows
çalışacağız,
us as long as
çabalayacağız,
we work.
gereken her
We
şeyi
should work,
yapacağız.
we should put some
Ondan sonra
effort,
da
we should do whatever is
hakkımızda
necessary.
hayırlısının tecellisi
Then,
umuduyla
with the
ilahi
hope that what
iradeye
we deserve
teslim
will come to
olarak
fruition,
tevekkül ediyoruz.
we will later
Onun için ne
on
diyoruz?
submit ourselves to our God.
Hayır, akıbet hayır.
That's why we say,
arkadaşlar,
as long as we have good intentions, the
bizim
results will be
siyasetimiz
good as well.
hep
Dear brothers and
eser
sisters,
ve
our
hizmet siyaseti
politics is about giving
Ülkemizin
service
hiçbir ilini,
and creating
ülkesini,
masterpieces.
köyünü
We never
ihmal etmeden, her
ignore
karış batan
any
toprağına
villages or any provinces of our
hizmetlerimizle
country,
mührümüzü vurduk,
and we
vuruyoruz.
marked our
Bir yandan
stamp
asırlara sari
every
ihmalleri
inch of
giderir,
our country with our
hayalleri hayata
services and
geçirirken,
masterpieces. As
diğer
we
yandan pek
materialize
çok
dreams at
birçok
one
projeyle
side,
ülkemizin çehresini
we have
değiştirdik.
also changed the facade of our
Şayet
country
biz
with the glorious projects.
ülkemize kazandırdığımız eserleri ve hizmetleri geçmişle mukayeseli bir şekilde
If
anlatmazsak
we
o
don't
zaman gündemin
tell our
muhalefetin
services and
yalanları,
projects with comparison to the
iftiraları,
past,
çarpıtmaları
then
ne
unfortunately
yapıyor? Mısır alıyor.
the agenda
Adamların
will
işi
be
gücü
kept
yalan.
captive by the lies
Akşam
and
yalan,
the manipulations
sabah
of the opposition party.
Bilhassa
That is what they do. They
yaşı
lie in the morning and in the
30'un
night.
35'in altındaki
We should tell
gençlerimiz
our services and projects,
eski
especially to
Türkiye'yi
the
bildikleri
youngsters
için bugün
below the
sahip
age of
oldukları
30 or
imkanların
35, because they
değerini
don't know the
yeterince
Turkey of the past. That's why
kavrayamayabilir.
they may not be able to comprehend
Elbette
the
değişen
resources
dünyanın
at their
değişen
disposal.
şartların ve önceliklerin farkındayız.
We are aware of the
Türkiye'nin nereden
changing
nereye geldiğini
conditions,
ısrarla anlatarak
and we
teknoloji
should
ve medya
repeatedly
merkezli
tell
toplumsal iklimin
from
hangi
where
zeminin üzerinde
Turkey has
yükseldiğini
reached to this
gençlerimize de
point. We
gösterebiliriz.
should also show
Dikkat
to our
ederseniz,
youngsters how
muhalefet,
much we
eser ve
have
hizmet
progressed.
merkezli
If you pay
tartışmalarda
attention,
ısrarla
the
konuşuyor.
opposition party
Çünkü bu konuda hem geçmişteki
escapes
müktesebatları
and runs
itibariyle
away from the
söyleyecek bir
discussions
sözleri yok,
based on the
hem de
services
geleceğe dönük
because
bir
they have
çalışmaları,
nothing to tell
hazırlıkları,
and
projeleri
they have no
mevcut
projects
değil.
whatsoever for the
Bizim
future.
de üzerine gitmemiz gereken yer
So
işte
that's
tam
why
da burası.
we should focus
Muhalefetin çapsızlığını
and push the
eser ve
opposition
hizmet
party
siyasetimizin
in those
gücüyle
regards.
ortaya koyarak
We
ülkenin
should
sadece geçmişinin değil,
show the
geleceğinin de
incapability of the
parçası
opposition
olduğumuzu
party
herkese
with
kabul
our
ettirebiliriz.
politics of service and
Mesela
masterpieces, and
eğitimde
that's
biz
after
ülkemizdeki
then we
resmi
can make sure
özel
that we are the
okul
political
sayısını
party of the future.
arkadaşlar
During our
50
term as the
binden
political party
90
in
bine
power,
çıkarmışız.
we have increased the number of the
Kadar.
private schools from 50,000 to
Bekleriz ki
90,000.
siyasi rakiplerimiz
So
bunu
we
100 bine, 120
we
bine çıkarma
expect
taahhüdüyle
our
karşımıza gelsin.
competitors
dertleri var mı?
to give commitments like increasing this number
bu
from
okullarda
90,000 to
görev yapan
100,000, but they have
öğretmen
no such concerns.
Kardeşlerim,
Dear brothers and
151
sisters,
binden 1.212.000
we have increased the numbers
getirmişiz.
of our teachers in the private schools from 151,000 to 1,112,000.
Bekleriz ki onlar daha
Well,
iyisini
we
nasıl
rather
yapacaklarını
expect
söylesinler.
That our
Biz
competitors
okullarımızda
to tell
20 yılda 3 milyar 400
how
milyona yakın
they
ders
will
kitabını
improve that number
çocuklarımıza
even further.
ücretsiz dağıtmışız.
We have
Onlar daha
distributed
ötesine
the
geçecek
coursebook
bir
to our
proje
kids,
ortaya koysunlar.
1,243,000 of it free of charge. But do they have
Biz
such
üniversite
concerns?
sayısını
No, they don't.
76'dan
We have increased the number of our universities from
akademik personel
76 to
sayısını
207,
70
and the number of the
182
academic
bine,
staff from
öğrenci
70,000 to 182,000.
8,5
The number of the
milyona
university
çıkarmışız.
students from 1.6
Onlar daha
million to
kaliteli yüksek
8.5
öğretim
million
için yüksek
students, but they didn't come up with any proposal for a higher
Şu anda
quality
bizim
education. Do they have such kind of a concern?
Üniversitemizin
No, they
olmadığı
don't.
il
Right now, there is no
Yok.
province without a university in
Yok.
Turkey.
Hatırlayın ne dediler?
Remember
Gelin buraya.
what they said.
Şu anda 76 tane üniversite yeter.
They said that 76
Arkadaşlar,
universities are enough.
almıyor,
Well,
kavramıyor.
their mind
Bizim
does not
derdimiz
comprehend. what's going on, because after all, we are concerned to provide the same level of education to our brothers and sisters, our kids in the Hakkari. We don't want our kids to come all the way from Hakkari to Istanbul to Izmir to go to university. We want to bring the university to them. If that's the case, who thinks about the eastern part and the southeastern part of Turkey? We are. We bring our professors and teachers to that region as well. So all the academic stuff has been brought to southeastern and eastern part of Turkey. Who loves our Kurdish brothers and sisters? We do. We show no discrimination whatsoever. What we have said, whatever there is in western part of Turkey, the same will be present in the southern eastern part of Turkey. Dear brothers and sisters, we have kept our promises, and we will continue to keep our promises. And in this nation, with our Kurdish people, with our Turkish people, with our Laz, Georgian and Abkhazian ethnicity, 85 million of our citizens will become one, will become great, will become firm, we will become brothers and sisters, and all together we will become Turkey. There are the ones who are asking those interesting questions. Do you really love the Kurdish people, they say. Well, have some fear from God. First of all, we submit ourselves to the commands of our God. We cannot discriminate among people with the white and the blacks, with the Turkish and the Kurdish, with the Georgian and the Abkhazian. They are all our brothers and sisters. And the superiority doesn't lie in the ethnicities, but the superiority stems from the piousness. If they ask them, do they know what piousness is? Well, the God knows who are the more pious, and the ones with the highest level of piousness are the most respected ones. In the field of health, we have carried out the greatest health reform in our country, from ambulance to medicines, from doctors to the operating rooms. We made sure that the highest quality healthcare services are provided to our nation, to our citizens. So let them say what additional services will they provide in the field of healthcare services. With the city hospital model, our country is inspired by the advanced countries with our strong infrastructure. In the field of justice, we have increased the numbers of our judges and prosecutors by almost 3 times, and by disseminating our courthouses and by strengthening the IT infrastructure of our courts, we made sure that our citizens have a higher access to the justice system. So let them promise greater services. What did they say? Constructing those beautiful buildings will not bring along with justice. So what we say as a response, just cast your bread upon the waters. If the fish doesn't know, the God will see it anyway. We remember those times where the justice is sought by force. We remember those times where the judges and prosecutors had to sit in one single room, but we have overcome all those troubles and all those challenges, and we have constructed the courthouses, the modern ones, and so that our judges and prosecutors can work in peace. We have taken all those steps and they still criticize us. For example, when it comes to the safety and security, we have improved the conditions of our coastal guards, our army, our intelligence departments. We have improved their personnel numbers and their operational capabilities, and we are one of the unique forces all around the world in that regard. So let them tell us what they aim for the future. So I do believe after Pentagon, I do believe our intelligence forces have the second highest quality building. Hopefully, from now on, we will be constructing a new building for our armed forces, and together with our intelligence forces, our safety and security will be provided in a stronger fashion, and from our commander-in-chiefs to our Marines, we will deliver their new buildings. We have improved our gendarmeries and our police forces, but its infrastructure is in a very good position right now. At the same time, we have increased the dorm capacities of our students from 182,000 to 246,000. When we have come to power, what was the amount of scholarship for our university students? It was only 45 Turkish liras, and we have increased that number to 850 Turkish liras. We have increased the number of our sport facilities from 1,500 to more than 4,000, and we have increased the number of our licensed athletes from 208,000 to more than 1 million. So let them tell what they would be doing in the future. It's not even trustworthy, but let's see whether they will be able to deliver those services. So right now, they hold the metropolitan municipality. Let's see what they will be doing for Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality. Let's see whether they will be able to accomplish anything. So actions speak louder than the words. Whenever there was a flood, we have seen what their municipalities were capable of doing. When we have come to power, the divided lines length was 6,100 kilometers. We have increased that length to more than 28,000 kilometers. We have increased the length of our tunnels from 50 kilometers to 611 kilometers, and our length of viaducts increased from 311 kilometers to 714 kilometers. And we have increased the speedy railway lines from 0 to 1,432 kilometers. The number of our ports were 37. We have increased that number to 84. Let's see whether they will be able to adding up any additional services. The number of organized industrial zones increased from 192 to 392, and the employment in the organized industrial zones increased from 415,000 to 2.2 million, and the number of the SMEs supported increased from 4,000 to 508,000, and the number of the subsidies increased from 2,654 to 80,000. We have founded such a strong industrial infrastructure, so let them tell us what kind of projects they will materialize. In the field of agriculture, the national income increased from 37 billion Turkish liras to 377 Turkish liras, and we have increased our export to $22 billion, and the agricultural support increased from 1.8 billion Turkish liras to 26 billion Turkish liras, and the number of our forest areas increased to 23 million hectares, and the irrigation ponds increased from 276 to 936. So let us then tell what you are aiming for. For example, when it comes to the Ministry of Environment, starting with the earthquakes, we have defined 1.7 million houses, and their transformation have been carried out in order to make them ready for the natural disasters, and the 330,000 of the buildings are still being transformed. Together with the TOKİ, the Housing Development Administration, we have made sure that 1.1 million of our citizens reached to their buildings. We have constructed 126 national gardens, and in our fight against the climate change, we have declared our green development revolution, and let them explain their plans for the future. We have increased the minimum wage from 184 Turkish liras to 4,250 Turkish liras. The pensions were increased from 66 Turkish liras to 2,500 Turkish liras, and the employment increased from 14 millions to more than 30 million people. So let them show us their thresholds for the future. For example, when it comes to the social support, we have increased the budget for the social support from 2 billion Turkish liras to 69 billion Turkish liras, from children to elders, from our women to our disabled people, from the relatives and the beloved ones of our veterans and martyrs. We have established a system which would be leaving no one behind. So let the opposition parties tell us whether they will be able to doing something better than we do. And we, of course, I still didn't speak about the employment opportunities, economic development, exports, and etc. So I want from all of you to explain all those services all the time to our citizens. So, starting with our youngsters, all our citizens should be able to see that the AK Party, Justice and Development Party organization, is the only party who can provide solutions to their problems. Dear brothers and sisters, as the Nations Alliance, People's Alliance, we have started working on changing the legislation regarding to the election, and we have submitted this amendment to the disposal of our parliament from decreasing the election threshold to the harmonization reform package. This draft bill, which comprises many items, hopefully will be auspicious for our country, for our nation. The detailed explanation has already been published with the shared with the public, but there is one thing that I would like to underline here. All those amendments in the election law will definitely put all the CHP MPs at ease. That's what I think. Because, as you know, the MPs of this political party cries out loud before the elections, and as you know, they are being served to other political parties as a gift, although their eyes are crying. So, since it is not enough to establish a group if you are willing to participate in the new elections, they are not anymore obliged to carry out those political games. So anymore the MPs of the CHP will not be handing over from one hand to another, just like a salt shaker from one party to another, so that they will not be ashamed anymore that they are being proposed to other political parties. So thanks to this amendment, this system will be changing as well, so that the justice will be served, that the national will is reflected in full reality, and also the small political parties will not be using their strength for political manipulations. And I am certain that from this amendment, the CHP, the Republican People's Party, will benefit the most, because we know that in the past, the Republican People's Party were presenting some of their MPs to other political parties, so that we made sure that the Republican People's Party will be able to protect their MPs. If they ask them, they will criticize us for not being democratic, but they will tell that and allege that we are only thinking about our own interest. But even when we are working on the amendment of the election law, we have taken into consideration the problems and the challenges of the main opposition party, and that's how we made our amendments in the election law. That's why during the Commission talks, the Republican People's Party hopefully will support this amendment with all their hearts, although they will not be able to explicitly support it. Well, we facilitated the most the president of the Republican People's Party, Kılıçdaroğlu, who is still the president of the main opposition party, although he has lost many elections. Well, politics is not carried out by coming together in a round table with the opposition party representatives. This person first looks at us and what we do, and then he takes to the rostrum, he criticizes us by spreading lies, and later on he tells certain projects as if he thought about it. On one day, he criticizes our cross-border operations in order to show to the PKK that they really support them. And then he says that those cross-border operations are being proposed by him. On another day, he is criticizing one of our most important brands, the unmanned aerial vehicles and the defense industry products. And later on, he says that those projects, the drones, actually belongs to him. And he says that he even visited that factory before I do. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how he lies? It's not even possible to comprehend. On one day, we see that he is criticizing in such an indecent fashion the foreign policy moves of our country, and later on, he is presenting himself as the candidate for proposing such foreign policy moves. On one day, he is accusing us, when it comes to the energy policies, as being gang members, and later on, he says that the same energy projects are actually presented by him. Although he opposed the presidential system very harshly, he didn't come up with any other proposal other than a report which in itself is prepared by the
karar vermeyi
forces in abroad.
böylesine köklü
So,
bir reformu düşünmeleri,
we are not, of course, expecting such a radical reform to be prepared by those who don't know how to walk in the corridors of our parliaments. We don't expect them to execute such kind of a reform. God forbid
bölgemizde yaşanan güvenlik krizleri,
the security crisis in our region, a disaster like a pandemic, and in the issues like political fault lines, think that the Republican People Party administers our country, hypothetically, they cannot even walk in line in the corridor. I mean, even before they were able to take a decision, it will be very late for our country. In such kind of a chaos, we are not expecting any good decision coming out for our country. Let's assume that they can decide on something. The execution of this decision, do you think will it be possible in such a chaotic political party? Even imagining it is just like a chaos for us. The system which is offered for our nation is this chaos. But we are used to the delusions and the deliriums of Mr. Kılıçdaroğlu, and we are used to the fact that he changes his mentality all the time, just like a windmill. Maybe we are used to his fluctuations, but I am certain that our nation is fed up with him. So hopefully the 2023 elections will be an opportunity for us, that our nation will get rid of this caricature-like political figure. With those feelings in my heart, once again I greet you all with love and respect. Do not forget, there is no rest for the weary.
Bizler de AK Parti Genel Başkanı Cumhurbaşkanımız Sayın Recep Tayyip Erdoğan'ın hitaplarından dolayı şükranlarımızı ve saygılarımızı arz ediyoruz.